Hello everybody, welcome back to my continuing series where I break down my favorite 100 albums of all time. Again, these aren't the greatest albums of all time necessarily. They're just my favorites, the ones that I'm listening to the most. Um, this list is one of those that ever changes for me, with the exception of a couple toward the top. This list can go a million different ways. So at this point in time, these are my favorite 100 albums. And I'm currently getting over a reboot of strep throat, so I apologize if my voice is weak or if I am coughing. I am currently on the mend, but if I start having a coughing jag, then that's the reason. So anyway, let's jump right into it. This is going to be 40 through 31, and I'm about to disappoint a lot of people, but I don't care because this is my list. Number 40 for me is Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Now, I know my friend Glenn Kellaway, after he gets up off the floor from his heart attack, um, which because this is his favorite album. For a lot of people, this is their favorite album. It was Rolling Stone's greatest album of all time for several years. Um, Looking at it, potentially could be the best Beatles album. I disagree, but that is still to come. I enjoy Pepper a lot, and I've listened to it almost more than any Beatles album. It's the Beatles at their 60s peak. This album was on everywhere in 1967. I don't need to talk much about this, but I guess for me, um, you know, I just, some of the more psychedelic tracks keep it a little bit lower for me. Songs like um, Within You, Without You, and even Good Morning, and Mr. Kite. I could do without some of those songs. So, number 40, Sgt. Pepper. Um, Number 39, The Wild Feathers, Greetings from the Neon Frontier. This is The Wild Feathers' third album. Um, just classic rock and roll. Again, I've talked about The Wild Feathers a million times. Nobody ever watches the videos, but you have three lead singers similar to the band, and they take inspiration from the band. They're like the band mixed with Tom Petty, maybe with some Rolling Stones thrown in there, and some good country as well. Just really great songwriters. Can't recommend them enough. This is my favorite album of theirs. Greetings from the Neon Frontier. Um, Number 38, my man, Handsome Johnny, John Prine. His final album, The Tree of Forgiveness, an absolute masterpiece of an album. I don't have a bad word to say about it other than I wish it was longer and that there were um, already two more after this. This came out in 2018, 2 years before he passed away from COVID-19. Uh, it was his first album of original material in many years. He had put out a couple of covers albums and a duets album, and just fantastic way to go out. He went out on top, and I will always love this album. It's my favorite John Prine album. So that's number 38. Number 37, Wildflowers by Tom Petty. This is Petty's second solo album that he did. This is the album he had done with Rick Rubin of Def Jam Records. This was on Warner Brothers. Almost all of the Heartbreakers are on this album except for Stan Lynch, which was a item of contention. Um, One of the many reasons that Stan Lynch was given the boot from the Heartbreakers, and a lot of people consider this Petty's grown-up album. Um, you had some great rockers on here like You Wreck Me, Honeybee. Um, you Don't Know How It Feels was a big hit. Wildflowers. Um, just really, really great. It's Petty, kind of acoustic, country, songwriter, and then a couple years ago we got the great Wildflowers and all, excuse me, Wildflowers and All the Rest box set, which is just wonderful. So this makes it into my top 100. All right, number 36, Pokey LaFarge, Manic Revelations. Um, Fantastic album by Pokey LaFarge. This is Pokey's real first album of completely changing his style. Came out in 2017. It's hard to believe this album's 5 years old. Uh, you got like, it's like rockabilly kind of sound to it. It's kind of got a lot of horns on it. Um, Kind of if you like J.D. McPherson, or it's not quite as rockabilly as the Stray Cats, but there are a couple of songs that are very Stray Cats, but it's got some great horns, like Stax horns. So please check this album out by Pokey LaFarge, Manic Revelations. Let's see, 40, 39, 38, 7. Number 35, Emotionalism by the Avett Brothers. Another fantastic album by the Avett Brothers. This is when the Avetts were really starting to come into their own as songwriters, in my opinion. You got just beautiful songs on here. The opening track is great, Die, Die, Die. One of their most beautiful ballads, The Ballad of Love and Hate, which is one that I do often during my live streams. Salina is a great one. All My Mistakes. Go to Sleep is fantastic. Paranoia in B flat major. I Would Be Sad is like the perfect breakup song. It's just stunning. I cannot recommend this album enough. If you want to get into the Avett Brothers, check out Emotionalism. It's just beautiful. 65. I'm sorry, folks. 34. Running on Empty, Jackson Browne. This is his concept album about life on the road as a musician. I think it's his most commercially successful album, which is kind of that's probably annoying to him, because a couple of these songs are covers, like The Road, Cocaine, Shaky Town, Love Needs a Heart is Jackson Browne, but he co-wrote it with several others. Stay, which was a hit for the Four Seasons. But it's just a great album. It flows really well. You've got a top-notch band with David Lindley, Danny Korchmar, Leland Sklar, Russell Kunkel, Doug Haywood, Rosemary Butler. Yeah, I recommend this album. If you don't know anything about Jackson Browne, pick up Running on Empty first. All right, 33. Let's bring back some more Bobby D. This is probably a sleeper pick for a lot of people. This is Nashville Skyline. This is Dylan's country soft voice crooner album. It's his shortest album. I think it clocks in at 28 minutes and some change. You've got the beautiful opening track of Girl from the North Country that he duets with Johnny Cash. Of course, he had done that already. He'd done the solo version on the Freewheelin' Bob Dylan, his second album. But this album, he's got the Nashville musicians on here. You've got Norman Blake, Pete Drake, Charlie McCoy, Kenny Buttrey, Charlie Daniels, like the Charlie Daniels, and Bob Wilson. And just a great album. I know Tony Rice ends up covering the song One More Night. Lay Lady Lay was the big hit off of here. Tonight I'll Be Staying Here With You. Just straight ahead country. Love it to death. And I love Dylan's voice on it. Number 32. Just listened to this album last Saturday. Closing Time by Tom Waits. This is Tom Waits' debut. Tom Waits on piano. There's some minor instrumentation in the background, but it really gives you a sense of Tom Waits on the piano or on the acoustic guitar. This isn't the Tom Waits of, Swordfish Trombones or Rain Dogs or Mule Variations. This is Tom Waits. Think of this as like Tom Waits's saloon singer phase. This is Tom Waits just singing his songs, like John Prine did, like Bob Dylan did, like Bruce Springsteen did. This album will actually be 50 years old next year, so hopefully we might get a little reissue or something. But beautiful songs on here. Old 55 is the opener, which the Eagles covered. I Hope That I Don't Fall in Love with You, just an absolute masterpiece of a song. Old Shoes and Picture Postcards. Martha just will rip your heart right out. Ice Cream Man, Grapefruit Moon, and then it ends with a instrumental called Closing Time, the title track. Love that album so much. And number 31, Nick Lowe and his cowboy outfit. This is the second of 2 albums that Nick Lowe did with his cowboy outfit. This is the album called The Rose of England from 1985. Of course, you have Paul Carrack on here. You have Huey Lewis and the News guest on a song. I think it was produced by Nick Lowe, yeah, with the exception of a song produced by Huey Lewis. So you've got, you know, great stuff on here like Darling Angel Eyes, She Don't Love Nobody, which is a John Hyatt song, which later became a hit for the Desert Rose Band with Chris Hillman. Indoor Fireworks, which is a Elvis Costello song. I Knew the Bride When She Used to Rock and Roll, which is with Huey Lewis. I Can Be the One You Love. It's country, it's rockabilly, it's power pop. It's fantastic. And it makes number 31. So there you go, folks. There are my choices. Like it or not, that's what it is. So with that being said, I am getting close to moving into the top 25. It's coming up very soon. So in the meantime, comment below, subscribe, all that good stuff. And y'all be good, take care, and I'll talk to y'all real soon. Bye now.